This is a special presentation of EA Sports from the Coliseum in Oakland, our tribute to the coach, the John Madden Legacy Game. I'm Brandon Gaudin here to take you through the proceedings, and coming up, we're going to tell the story of a man who was truly larger than life and whose impact on the sport of football certainly is going to live on for decades and decades to come. Now, we've assembled a couple of rosters featuring some of Coach's favorite players from both yesterday and today, and Coach himself will be on the sidelines for both squads, trying to motivate his guys to victory. And I'm joined now by my good friend Charles Davis. CD, your thoughts on John Madden and what he meant to the sport he loved so much?
For me, Brandon, it's the word joy. He brought that to the game of football and brought the game to so many people. He stayed involved his entire life. And moving forward, when you think of football,
the Coliseum back to its original 70s glory. What a scene in the East Bay. And we're underway in the John Madden Legacy Game. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. So it's the NFC stars who will get the ball first. And Charles, as we alluded to, we've got a different era of coach on each sideline. So the man coaching this NFC squad, we'll call him Young John Madden. This is a coach who was trying to establish a foothold in the NFL and on the cusp of doing it very successfully.
Yeah, you think back to that period, those early days as the coach of the Raiders, the late 60s in the AFL, and then in the NFL practice, because he wanted to practice coaching as much as he could. And his teams, they were successful right from the start of his head coaching tenure.
That'll be caught. It's caught. So as we mentioned at the top, let's take you through the life of John Madden in years.
Yeah, he grew up over in Daly City with his buddy John Robinson, who would also become an NFL head coach. And he played his high school ball at Jefferson High, Poly San Luis Obispo. Played well enough that in 1958, he was a 21st round draft pick of the Philadelphia Eagles. That's right, he drafted 30 rounds then.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
A lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
Here we go on fourth down. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Play fake. Now here's Montana. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes. At the 8 was the Philadelphia Eagles who selected him. But unfortunately for John, knee problems, they just continued to dog him. He was hurt in his first training camp. Actually never saw the field. Light bulb going on for what his career path might entail.
And it went on in a big way, didn't it? Because while he was rehabbing his knee in the NFL, remember, Gordon Van Rockman coached with the Falcons, he coached with the Vikings. And was there during that time. I think Coach Madden realized his love of football and love for teaching. College south of San Luis Obispo called Allen Hancock, and then later at San Diego State University under another legendary coach, the guy that throw it around pretty well, Don Coryell.
First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Here's Montana to throw. And that's going to be caught. Touchdown NFC. Calvin Johnson from 6 yards away. And the NFC takes it all the way down the field to score on their opening drive. Quite the drive there to get things started. They took up the bulk of the first quarter, and they end up in the end zone.
And I love your last point. Ended up in the end zone. Because a lot of teams like those long drives, especially to keep their offense off the field, right? Keep the ball away from them. But they finished it with a touchdown, right? Maybe they need to be a little more aggressive, maybe a few more pressures towards the quarterback.
This take it in at the goal line. Ball has it knocked loose. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy. because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Sideline. Of course, his Raiders, members of the AFC West. So this is a conference he battled in for his entire career. A golden era for coaches. You had Don Shula, Tom Landry, Chuck Noll, Bud Grant. But it was John Madden who had the best winning percentage of them all, CD. 759, the best ever.
Brandon, it's hard to believe he could be so successful in the conference with all those great teams. The Steelers won 4 Super Bowls. The Dolphins won 2 and were a mainstay in the playoffs. The Colts were tough. The Broncos came out late and went to a Super Bowl themselves. But against Hall of Fame coaches, each and every year.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Throwing is Brady on 3rd down.
Good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the NFC will take over deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. With the NFC offense coming out here, and you know, Charles, Coach Madden always said that if he had one drive to win a game and he had to pick a quarterback, he would pick Kenny Stabler. But I think if you asked him to omit any of his Raiders players, there's a good chance the guy he'd select would be Brett Favre.
Brett Favre is always smiling. He's always laughing. He's always talking to someone. He remembers that it's a game. And if it's a game, you should have fun.
And Brandon, that always reminds me of a great movie line where one of the players was telling the coach, every time I say it's a game, you say it's a business. And every time I say it's a business, you say it's a game. With Coach, it was always a game.
Well, Charles, you know, it was in the early 1960s that a young John Madden made the acquaintance of the owner of the Oakland Raiders, one Al Davis, of course, and the two, they really bonded, would become one of the best owner-coach duos in NFL history. And to take it a step further, Al Davis became someone who John referred to as his best friend.
Yeah, in 1967, Brandon, Al Davis hired Coach Madden to be a linebackers coach. Remember, this was still the AFL Packers and what was now known as Super Bowl II. But by 1969, at the age of 32, just 32, Brandon, John Madden assumed the mantle of head coach of the Oakland Raiders. And what a ride he, the Raiders, and the NFL were about to go on.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Get to turn it back to their offense.
Wishnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. And he'll take it just outside the 40. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. The AFC making their way out, and it's one of Coach's favorites, another local guy, Tom Brady, who will be at the controls. And boy, Coach always admired the way number 12 could run an offense, and especially his ability to stay calm under pressure.
Tom Brady is a guy who's always looking downfield. He never looks at the rush. He hangs in the pocket, and he makes a throw. He's a cool guy. He's a tough guy. Let me tell you, there's no one calmer in the pocket than Tom Brady.
And I know that Coach has a great appreciation for Tom Brady, who turned 45 back on August 3rd, because Coach coached a guy like him in George Blanda, who played a long time in the NFL. In this game, it features legends and active players. Tom Brady qualifies as both.
Brady now to throw. And he'll find Hall. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Into the red zone, it's Brady. There's Hall bringing in another one.
And he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
To throw again on 2nd down. Brady, he'll set up the screen to Marcus Allen. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Now the NFC going to call the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Again, they'll throw with Brady. And he'll just get rid of it. The career leader in field goals made knocks that one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Well, still trailing here, but they do get the late field goal. Now their defense will try to keep this score right where it is heading into the locker room.
Yeah, and trying to break, you obviously don't want to go in off of a negative play. Give them credit for that one. Finding a way to put points on the board, give them any type of a spark, anything to build off of as they try and plan a comeback.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 to 27. Now the NFC heading back out. Hall of Famer Randy Moss, a part of this offense. And Coach Madden, boy, he always appreciated the ferociousness with which number 84 attacked the football in the air.
As Randy Moss says, just chunk it up there, dog, and I'll go get it.
And, Coach, boy, did he ever go get it. Over 15,000 receiving yards, 156 more so. He showed us all how to go up and get it. Great body control. No one's ever done it better playing the ball in the air.
On first down, Montana. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And this is dropped. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Montana. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. This time they stay on the ground. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Here's Mitch Wishnowski now on to punt. Coming up in the second half, we'll run through John's post-coaching triumphs. But for now, we present a special tribute to the man of the hour, narrated by the Raiders' own Trey Mosley.
What comes to mind when you hear the name Madden? Is it the coach who led the Raiders to their first Super Bowl victory? Perhaps it's the broadcaster who entertained millions of fans. Or maybe it's the video game known simply by his name. But no matter what comes to mind when you hear the name Madden, everyone thinks of one thing: football.
The core of it was football. It's the greatest game in the world. The left goes to the right goes to the left.
Madden is on the field. He wants to know if it's real. John Madden comes on the shoulders of his players.
In my mind, John Madden is the most important figure in the history of professional football. Show me somebody else who did it on 3 levels the way John did it. There's nobody.
We now proceed to the start of the second half. Boy, Charles, that is really well done. Coach was something else, wasn't he?
I'm reminded what Al Davis said when he was inducted coach of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, Brandon. He loved the game. He loved his team. He loved the Raiders. He loved this league. And you can see it with everything he does.
No doubt. But it's quite possible, though, that now he would say, hey, enough of that. Let's play some football. The second half forthcoming from Oakland. They start the drive with a give to Allen. At 42, he just completed a 10-year stint as the coach of the Raiders. He wants to step away a bit from the grind of coaching, but he doesn't want to step away from the game of football. So he ends up signing on with CBS in 1979 to try his hand at broadcasting. And much like his coaching career, he was pretty much an instant success.
Partner, he really connected with the people right from the start, and people may not remember he wasn't even on the #1 team in the beginning. He worked his way up. But the same things that made him a great coach made him a great broadcaster. The ability to show the big picture, yet break it down into the details. That's what he did with his teams. That's what he did with the people. Personality that he had, one that connected with everyone.
Now Allen. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. So for Coach Madden, Charles, by 1981, his broadcasting career is really taking off. He gets the plum assignment of calling Super Bowl 16, 49ers and Bengals, and he's teamed up with Pat Summerall. And that pairing ultimately would go on to be one of the most influential in sports broadcasting history.
But how they put together kind of the template that all of us broadcasters follow now. Sitting down with the head coaches and the quarterbacks and the stars of each team before a ball game to get extra information. And the way that those two pair details.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. To throw is Brady. Quick throw knocked away and incomplete. With Al Michaels later in his career, he spent nearly 3 decades in the booth all told. And not only was he beloved for his mannerisms, we know that, but he was an innovator as well. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Deion Sanders. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
Obviously not what they were counted on to try and hold that score, at least where it is.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. To throw is Montana. And this one incomplete. They will look to throw. Montana. Man open, it's Cup. He's got it. And he's out of bounds, but not before a big pickup that time on what's going to wind up being the final play of the 3rd quarter. So through 3 quarters of the John Madden legacy game, things rolling on this drive. They go play action with Montana. That's going to be caught by Moss. And they'll have it in the red zone. During that time period that he became quite famous for, and it's something that you and I know a little bit about, and that's the... And that's going to be caught. Touchdown NFC. Cooper Kupp, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the NFC is in for 6. We talk so often about how hard it is to win in the NFL when you turn the ball over, and here a late turnover leads to a 4th quarter touchdown and a 2-score lead.
And what's more important is to make the other guy pay. They're able to do so here. They've got a pretty good chance now of winning this football game.
Extra point by Anderson, up and good, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Touchdown. Here's Anderson to kick it away. The offense for the AFC set to go now. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes very critical. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. All the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Now Brady. The incredible career as a broadcaster with 12 Emmy Awards, Madden the video game. It was very fitting back in 2006 that John Madden got the call to be enshrined into the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
A more deserving person you will not find. He gave an incredible speech on that day, Brandon. So many of his former Raider players were in attendance. He talked about how he envisioned that when the last person turns off the lights in the hall every night.
Speech by saying, today feels like the 2nd time in my life that I'm being carried off on the shoulders of others. Yet instead of off the field, it's into the Hall of Fame. This has been the sweetest ride of them all. Post-broadcasting, he was about as active as most people are in their working years. I mean, he continued to play a key role on the NFL's competition committee. He was available to a wide range of people as a tutor, as a mentor. He continued to
design and build this game. Certainly look forward to the yearly visits out to the Madden compound that he had out in the East Bay. They pitched the new Aspen 6 hours with him on a Sunday.
Down now. Those last two plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Brady's saying let's go as he'll hustle him to the line. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And that one, Charles, is just going to about wrap up what was no doubt
not. Just giving up 3 points in the NFL, that's absolutely a dominant performance and one that they can build on.
Now the AFC going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Now a give left side, it's Dickerson. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. DBs. Play action, it's Montana. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Montana going for it on fourth. Across the middle, and this pass complete to Cooper Kupp. No problem there for the NFC. A big gain on fourth down, and that will keep the drive moving. That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to fire one deep over the middle.
So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Montana. Complete. It's Johnson. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. And now they're in the hurry-up. First and 10 for Montana and company. That's into a crowd and intercepted. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Now with that interception, you feel like we got a ball game again. Remember, 2-score contest and still time left here in the fourth.
And in the old days, not too long gone either. Throwing the ball here would have been an absolute no-no, but the way the game's played now, throwing it makes sense. You just have to be careful when you put it in the air.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. Now a carry for Allen. And he's got some space here. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. One final try now for Brady. And this is dropped and incomplete. Well, so it's a win here for the NFC. Just an incredible afternoon of football and remembering the life of John Madden. And before we go, one final message. And for all of us at EA Sports, this one's for you, Coach.
I just say this, I thank you all very much. This has been the sweetest ride of them all.